in every problem you come up with, I would like to have one of the first questions to be, is it possible we can solve this with more freedom instead of less?
Libertarianism is a political philosophy that became properly established in the 1970s and has expanded in a post-9/11 world due to the massive expansion of government. It advocates for many things such as freedom of the individual, a fiscally conservative economic platform by removing government from economics, and the primary guiding idea of the non-aggression principle. But the main idea that it really advocates for is small and limited government so that people are free to live the lives that they want to without government intrusion.
The Libertarian Party is based on a firm principle of non-aggression. We all take a pledge when we join the party that we will never initiate force against somebody else. And that is, a pretty simple principle that everybody should endorse. It's a principle of what makes civilization. That is, you respect other people's life, you respect other people's property. Important moral principle that if we can't take somebody else's property and we can't hurt anybody or we can't intimidate anybody or threaten to use force, we don't think the government can either. But we see the government as the initiator of force to bring about social and economic changes day in and day out.
The philosophy has been influenced by multiple sources, from the works of Ayn Rand, a popular novelist who created the philosophy of objectivism in her fiction, which advocates for freedom of the individual over everything else, to economists such as Ludwig von Mises who advocate laissez-faire capitalism or the complete removal of government out of the process of business and economics, to Murray and Rothbard who advocated for anarcho-capitalism or the complete removal of government from everything.
Man cannot survive except through his mind. He comes on earth unarmed. His brain is his only weapon. But the mind is an attribute of the individual. There is no such thing as a collective brain. The man who thinks must think and act on his own. The reasoning mind cannot work under any form of compulsion. The Creator requires independence. He neither serves nor rules. He deals with men by free exchange and voluntary choice, the individual against the collective. Our country, the noblest country in the history of men, was based on the principle of individualism, the principle of man's inalienable rights. It was a country where a man was free to seek his own happiness, to gain and produce, not to give up and renounce, to prosper, not to starve, to achieve, not to plunder, to hold as his highest possession a sense of his personal value, and as his highest virtue, his self-respect. Look at the results. I came here to say that I do not recognize anyone's right to 1 minute of my life, nor to any part of my energy, nor to any achievement of mine, no matter who makes the claim.
Libertarianism has also influenced other artists. Two musicians who were influenced by libertarian ideals are Neil Peart, drummer and lyricist for the band Rush, and Frank Zappa, whose work constantly advocated individualism and going against the run-of-the-mill, which are very much libertarian ideals. Two other artists who have been influenced by the philosophy are Trey Parker and Matt Stone, creators of South Park, whose political satire found within the show is very much advocating for ideas found within libertarianism. All of these artists have influenced the political philosophy and made it much more accessible as not just a political philosophy, but something that has a quality beyond politics.
You can choose a red divine and some celestial voice. If you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice. We can choose from phantom wheels, time to something here. I will use a path that's fair. I will choose free will. Shapes and forms against the norm. Against the run of the mill, swimming against the stream. Life in two dimensions is a mass production scheme.
Libertarianism has gained the most prominent appeal it ever has in the past decade or so. Many people in America are turning away from the ideas of big government and the dangerous effects it can have on people, from high taxation to overly regulated lives every step of the way, constant advocacy and willingness to go to war. the dangerous police state that has led to the murder of many people and many other facts. It's become a political philosophy that can change what the status quo has become. Two political parties that advocate big government and have basically the same policies. As things don't change, people may look to alternate ideas like libertarianism and the Libertarian Party, keeping in mind that they advocate for each individual citizen and their freedom and their right for said freedom.
And the message is, look, let's stop the spending. Let's end the wars. Let's abide by the Constitution of the United States. There is a growing police state in this country. Let's stop